What is going on, YouTube? This is Jim, back with another video, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about TitanFall 2. Now, I haven't talked about this game in quite some time, but it's not because I don't play it. I still play it pretty regularly. It's just there's been so many other things with E3 and lots of other major announcements that I haven't talked about it like I should have. And in honor of the 6th free DLC, the War Games, I'm going to do a video on it. Now, look at how cool the intro is, by the way. This is just like the campaign where you go into those hologram experience to like learn training. That is how you jump into this. So you actually just kind of, boop, you're in the map. It's not like you're teleporting in or anything like that. They're treating this as the true War Games where you're going off to learn how to be a soldier. What I love about how this map looks is it's unfinished in certain areas. You'll see, I'm gonna bump my my cloaking right there, but as soon as it pops out, you'll see a lot of the places where the map actually looks unfinished. You have these weird textures. Sometimes you have these really like completely white, block, kind of like Assassin's Creed almost. Is probably the best way I could think about it. And then you have these really defined areas. There's an area there that's actually still vibrating, like it's not completely programmed or whatever. It's really, really cool. It's almost like a hologram gone wrong or something, but I don't know how to explain it. There was a dome level in the TitanFall 2 gameplay, and I guess it kind of reminds me a little bit of that. So it also has a bottomless pit, which I just found right there. But while that's going on in the background, I want to talk a little bit about what this DLC includes. Obviously, it includes the War Games map. So it's kind of neat. If you go to the TitanFall 2 website, the Frontier News Network, that's where they post all their news and everything. War Games. Pilots on the frontier frequently use simulator pods to train using lifelike recreations of historical battles as combat scenarios. War Games highlights the civilian shops, tall buildings for window-to-window fighting, and city streets for Titan combat from the Battle of Angel City, and the large, open-tank garage facilities for hand-to-hand pilot combat from the Battle of Air Base Sierra. The outskirts of the map feature a clean VR style perfect for Titan duels, while pilots are often found running along the bright, interconnected wall-running routes. So that's actually a very good description of kind of what's going on. It's a lot of maps kind of blended together, but just the way everything comes together, it flows very well. It seems like a very large map in terms of kind of just overall size. So really a lot of fun and absolutely free to play. What else does this come with? Well, it also comes with a new live fire map called Traffic. There's a lot of sniping that happens in Traffic. I'm not a huge fan of that. But I do like live fire. That's where you basically, you get one death and you're done. It's very similar to SWAT mode in Halo 5. They've also added a new execution called Shadowboxing. I don't really get a lot of executions in this game, so I can't really comment if it's amazing or not. I know in Halo 5, I know I'm comparing them, and I just said it like 10 seconds ago, but that was always fun to get those assassinations. It seemed like they were more frequent, but when you add the speed and the verticality that TitanFall 2 offers, it's really hard to sneak up on somebody, and 9 times out of 10, like you saw me a minute ago with that AFK pilot, you're just going to shoot them down. The big thing that this DLC adds is the 3rd weapon slot for all pilots. So now you'll be able to equip a primary, a secondary, and an anti-Titan weapon. Titan Brawl has now been added to the permanent list of game modes, and there's a new featured mode called Free Agents. And then there's some other balance changes and features and updates, etc. But the important thing here, I think, is that 3rd weapon slot. And I gotta say that in my experience of playing Titanfall 2, I don't use it. As a matter of fact, I don't ever switch from my car unless I am trying to take out a Titan, in which case I might pull out my anti-Titan weapon. But typically, I will just go and try to steal the battery, because I feel that's a lot greater risk-reward than just using your anti-Titan weapon. I mean, if a Titan's on low health or something, of course, I'll take a pot shot or something like that to try to burn it down, you know what I mean? But for the most part, I'm not really switching between weapons. Now, having a 3rd weapon is nice. Maybe players use it a lot. I don't know. This game is so fast and frantic. As I mentioned, the car, for me, is a perfect weapon. I don't like sniping, and I'm not good at it. So for me, Car is a perfect hip fire, although you do see me do iron sights occasionally. But it's a perfect weapon for that kind of mid to close range combat that I prefer. It's got a very high rate of fire, and I perked it so that I get a little more ammo. So it's kind of nice to have a couple extra shots. So I just let it rip, and I reload very quickly, and I don't switch. But if you want to use the cool pilot pistol, that is available for you to use. All you have to do now is on your weapon switch button, you just long press it. So you tap it once, that switches you between your normal primary and your normal anti-Titan. You long press for that third weapon. And it does open up some variety. I mean, I think giving players more freedom is never a bad thing. You know, I don't think like people are going to say, oh my god, this is horrible, why did you give us a third weapon? I just don't know if it's as great as you think it is. And to me, the real hero of this DLC has to be this sweet map. I don't really think the weapon matters too awful much, but it's there if you want it. So Titanfall is alive and well. I know I've done numerous videos on it talking about my concern with the player base. I will say, though, on this round of matchmaking, it's taking a little bit longer, and I'm seeing a lot more private games pop up in between. So when you're kind of dorking around waiting in between the lobbies, you'll see tons of private games pop up, you know, because you're in the Advocate Network, or, you know, I'm in Ready Up Live or whatever, of people like trying to get private matches going, which is fun. You know, you get a game and going quick sometimes, but other than that, if you just decline those and you just want to just, you know, do the random match, the true random matchmaking, and not get, you know, ganked in some kind of crazy pre-made, you could do that too. However, those regular matchmakings are taking about 30 to 45 seconds now, which is a little bit excessive, and that does worry me. Now, Titanfall 2 has been around a while, but I mean, they have done absolutely everything in their power to please their fans. They reduced the price almost immediately. I think it's $25 to $30 now, brand new. They've added, this is the 6th DLC of some sort. New factions, new maps, new Titans, new skins, new assassinations. I mean, they're constantly, new game modes, they're constantly adding to the DLC. And they even tease it on their website. They said that Titanfall 2, okay, let me read this to you. We kicked off the week with EA Play. So they talk about EA Play. We're extremely proud of Titanfall 2, with close to 20 million people having experienced the Titanfall franchise, either through original Titanfall or Titanfall 2. We're committed to the franchise and the opportunities that lie ahead of us. Since the launch, we've released 5 content drops, obviously, because this is the 6th, free for all players, and continue to see a vibrant, engaged player base with currently over 1 million active players per month. I don't know if I believe that. That seems very, very high. I see anywhere from 8 to 12,000 people online at any given time on the Xbox One version. I don't know if that's a preferred version to PS4 or to the PC, but I can't believe it's really 1 million active players each month, but okay. This is the interesting point. Titanfall 2 will support the Xbox One X. Oh, by the way, I'm going to scroll down. You're going to see some of the new factions in there. You see the bottom one, the Merv faction? Little smiley face. Mervin. That's pretty cool, right? I bought that. Look at his directive received 1,202 days ago. So he's just been kind of floating around for quite a while waiting for new orders. Looks like it's not going to happen. But I had to jump in and grab him, and now I proudly am a member of the Marvin Army. Anyways, back to what I was reading. Titanfall 2 will support Xbox One X. This means 4K resolution for increased fidelity, as well as support for dynamic super scaling. But we're not done with our DLC yet. Our next update in July will be huge. It will include the long-awaited return of a favorite mode from the original Titanfall. ... So stay tuned for that. So tons and tons and tons of Titanfall stuff still happening. It's going to have Xbox One X, which honestly, I did not know that until I just read this, is the #1 reason I would get an Xbox One X at this point, is to play this game in 4K. I'm not going to go on a tangent of what I think about the Xbox One X, but you could probably guess what I think based on that statement. But anyways, there you guys have it. A little bit of a Titanfall gameplay, some news. Still an amazing game. I'm glad that people are still kind of sticking with it, although I do feel the numbers are dwindling slightly, but that's okay. I think as long as there's a passionate fan base, we'll be okay. This definitely has more legs than the original Titanfall. I remember playing the original Titanfall way back when, and going on that attrition day, going to play attrition one day, and there were 80 people online in the world, and I knew that I had just gotten suckered out of 10 bucks. So there you have it. If you're not playing Titanfall 2 on Xbox One, get out there and play it. Look me up. My handle is JASEFAT. It's in the description box below. I would love to play with you guys and show you a thing or two, because, you know, I'm kind of a big deal. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Get out there and stand by for Titanfall. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.